Hey, sports fans! Coach Nick here, and welcome to the B-Ball Breakdown live show / podcast. We have Dave DuFour joining me and Jared Weiss yet again. And man, do we have a lot of things to talk about, but I'm not so sure a lot of them have anything to do with basketball or the NBA. What do you think?
No, it's all chicken all the time. That's all I want to talk about.
All right, well, I'm late to this party.
I'm talking about Antonio Brown's helmet, too.
I was not on Twitter this afternoon, but I did stumble upon some sort of beef between the chicken people. What is the story? Dave, break it down for us real quick.
Popeyes won. That's it. In the great chicken sandwich wars of 2019, Popeyes has beaten everyone. It's over. It's a wrap. Everybody's just got to quit.
We need the Avengers theme. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
It's over.
Da-na-na. Okay, so Popeyes, I haven't had Popeyes in a long time, but I do remember that their chicken is really good. I certainly compare. Here's the thing, Chik-Fil-A it's okay. Is it like, do you think it's the end-all be-all, Jared?
The pickles are huge when it comes to the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Chicken's good, sauce is very good, bun solid. That cheese they put on there is kind of shitty, but whatever, we can live with it. But those pickles are phenomenal. And I think if you took, I haven't had this new Popeyes sandwich yet, so clearly I need to find a Popeyes somewhere in Boston. There's one next to Fenway Park. I'll have to go to that one.
Yeah, you got it.
Sandwich. But I think there's actually a sneaky surprise contender, and that's the Shake Shack chicken sandwich.
Okay, but Shake Shack's in a whole different.
Week was surprised how good it was, and I'm not a Shake Shack fan.
But that's 1%er talk. That Shake Shack is in a whole different price bracket from Popeyes and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
All right. Not everyone's making Jared Weiss money.
It was like $2 more.
Hey, Shake Shack does make an awesome burger, without question. I know I've had that one. But, okay. But Wendy's gets involved out of the blue. Apparently they make some. Here's what's weird to me. Having a fried chicken, boneless breast fried chicken on bread. That's just a weird mixture of stuff going on there. I'm not sure I always like. I guess is the solution there is the sauce. That's what you need to have it to make those things mesh.
No, it's just it's a chicken sandwich. It's delicious. It's fried chicken on bread. Let me ask you, Nick. Thanksgiving. Do you eat turkey?
I do.
Okay. The next day, do you have a turkey sandwich?
Sure.
Do you put stuffing on that turkey sandwich?
Ooh, I don't know if I do, but man, that sounds good.
Right. Same principle, right?
Okay, but we're talking about fried. Okay, but how does the fried part of it come into the equation? I don't see it.
The fried chicken, because fried chicken is delicious.
That's I know, but
skin, breading, fry everything.
I just don't see how the fried in the turkey with stuffing on a piece of bread does not necessarily equate to me to the fried chicken that they use inside the sandwich at Chick-fil-A, and I guess at wherever we're talking about now, Popeyes. Anyway,
I also think Popeyes just has amazing chicken. They just happen to put it on a bun and destroy everybody. That's it. Nothing changed. The spicy chicken at Popeyes is undefeated.
Yeah, and Popeyes is also. Who weighed in on Twitter? You actually retweeted. You retweeted. Okay, so
Popeyes social media people are earning their money today. It's pretty incredible.
It is funny to watch these other chicken companies try to get in, and Popeyes is like, hell no,
they're winning the game of chicken.
I'm still a Chick-fil-A guy, even if they're homophobic as fuck. They at least make really good. We
call that problematic chicken in my house. Yeah,
it's a conflict chicken. So this is a basketball show. Dave, can you do a quick dab for all the commenters out there?
Dab?
And by the way, just a little dab. They want to see you dab.
I don't dab, but I'll show you my T-shirt.
Whoa!
So for the podcast listeners, Dave DuFour is rejoining his old stomping grounds in a Boban T-shirt with the Jerry West NBA logo replaced with Boban dunking while still on the ground. And who was the other person that wore that shirt that was its number one fan?
Mark Cuban. Big fan of this shirt. You can get it. My guys over at Fast Break Breakfast, which is an excellent podcast if you like breakfast food. Fast Break Breakfast. You can find this stuff over on their Twitter account in their TeePublic store or wherever. But they've got a lot of other funny shirts. But this one's it's special.
Oh, they're coming on the show. Somebody is coming on the show from that pod, and I guess I need to talk to them. I need some help with some shirt designs of my own. I guess they're the ones to talk to.
Yes.
Actually, I got to give Dave credit. He put me onto a Fast Break Breakfast and Roundball Rock. I'm actually going to go on Roundball Rock at some point soon. But our show's the best podcast, obviously. Count the Ding sucks, so we can just focus on.
Oh, wait a minute. And, we don't invite people on and then do that. This is not like calling people.
Listen, Nick, I open the fridge up and see what's in there on this show. You can insult me all you want. I'm checking your cupboards for good snacks. I'm doing all that stuff.
Well, all right. Well, because we're not having any Chris Cuomo Fredo stuff going on here. Right? You know what I mean? You're not Fredo. We'll call you're Michael on our show.
That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure.
Right. I guess I'm
definitely not going to throw Dave down the stairs. So.
That makes me Don Corleone, who's like choking and dying in the garden with a kid spraying him with pesticide, I suppose. Anybody know?
So yes. So
the famous death scene.
Time.
Okay.
Great time to talk about basketball. We have FIBA coming up. DeMarcus Cousins' leg is ruined. Dwight Howard's getting a second chance. Where do we start here? Do we start with Dwight and work our way backwards?
Well, I will
start with Dwight.
Okay. I was going to throw one thing out there because you just reminded me about Boogie. And, Boogie, when you watched him come back and his mechanics, the way he's running, it seemed like a guarantee he was going to get hurt again and again and again. And I feel like whoever is working with him, they're not addressing some of the key issues that are leading to this breakdown of the way he runs, the way he moves. And it's really sad, but I just feel like it was inevitable.
Well, do you think his gait is an issue of him kind of running, compensating for his injury, and that's just how he runs, or is it the other way around?
I think he rushed back, and I get it, right? He rushed back because he wanted to show everyone he could make some money and whatever, but that was part of it. But he always moved a little bit, not smooth and balanced anyway. Dave, you know what I'm talking about, I think, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to get into the biomechanical part. My bigger concern is that he did rush back from that quad injury. Mm-hmm. And Wilson Chandler talked about this, how he didn't feel right when he was coming back from his quad injury. You have to actually let that thing heal, and then you start your rehab. I mean, it holds the whole lower posterior chain together.
Right.
Like that quad is so crucial. we saw this with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson had that hamstring injury, gets an ACL injury, right? They are more than likely directly related. And, I hope all of these guys look at this stuff and just stop trying to rush back. Was playing in the finals more important for Boogie and his career than being able to be healthy going forward? And now, his career is going to be completely different.
I think it probably was. This was his one chance. He's never been in a winning situation before. I think he looked at it as this is a chance to win a ring and give himself. I think he probably looked at it as he thinks that he's a Hall of Famer if he wins that title. Even if we probably you could make an argument. Obviously, I definitely don't think he should be at that point. But
he's about to miss another season of basketball, right?
Yeah,
for it.
And it's ironically is going to probably prevent him from getting in the Hall of Fame, despite his historic numbers and resume for his age. But yeah, we're expecting another year off at least at this point. He'll be 30 by the time he's getting back. He just has to lose a ton of weight at this point, right?
Which has always been an issue for him.
He has to lose like 40 to 50 pounds. He's always been playing like 30, 40 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is it, and also, and then address the way his body functionally moves is also part of it, because it's almost like, they're all interrelated without question. They all don't help each other. He's never been that guy. It kind of like would bring us to like Melo. Melo never worked on his body. And now he's scratching his head, wondering why at 33, like nobody wants him. What is he, 33?
No, he's 35.
35?
36.
Okay. So, right. And so he's already at the end anyway, but he seems like he's acting as if he's 33 and should get another shot. But the only guy that would do that would be somebody who dieted well, who really took care of their body. Yeah, LeBron's a good example.
Right? LeBron is the most extreme example of a guy who's taking care of his body. The most extreme we've ever seen in basketball. The numbers that get thrown out about how much he invests in his body are pretty insane. I think it shows when you watch this guy who still, he looks like he's lost a step, but he's 35 years old and still definitely a top 10 player, probably a top 7 player still.
Wait. Okay. Wow, you're throwing flames over here.
What?
I mean, I kind of agree with you, but I can't believe if we look in the comments, people aren't going to freak out when you're saying top 7 for LeBron.
I just need to see what he looks like this coming season, right? Like, I don't want to judge him based on coming back from the groin injury.
I mean, someone's upset I said that Boogie thinks that he's a Hall of Famer, so obviously people are going to
Listen, I wish someone could explain to me the Hall of Fame criteria because I don't understand it at all.
There is no.
But Boogie is not a Hall of Famer, but he thinks he is probably a Hall of Famer if he wins a title. That was the point. I bet if we all spent $1 million on our bodies, we'd be looking a lot sexier too, as well. We wouldn't even need hits. But I think the huge difference with Melo is it's all just personality decision. It's all about role decision. He could clearly still be in the NBA. He's not out of the league because of the shape he's in. That's definitely a contributing factor to why his defense was so crappy for the last few years, or for the last 17 years, however long he was in the NBA. But like, he isn't in the NBA because of role buy-in, because of lack of defense, because he just resisted being a stretch 4 for so long, even though that's coincidentally what he was when he came into the league and what was always his greatest strength.
Well, super chat. We got to give that some proper dap. I'll do the dap since Dave won't. Anyway, Hyder Khan, thank you so much for that. A nice super chat. And he says, I believe Boogie will be a version of Brook Lopez. That is fascinating.
Wait, that is interesting. And maybe. Yeah. But will he rebound or team rebound the way Brook Lopez does?
Well, remember, I'm old enough to remember Brook Lopez being the shittiest rebounder in the NBA.
But he was not a bad rebounder. He was never. The thing is, we only looked at how many rebounds per game he averaged, not at the team rebounding percentage, which is the important thing to look at with a guy like Brook Lopez, who actually boxes out to his assignment. And so, like, if you go and do your job and your team, as a big, your team rebounds better with you on the court, you're a good rebounder. I don't care if he pulls down 3 rebounds a game and they still are doing really, really well in team rebounding percentage. That's what I care about. And the eye test matches the numbers on this. Like, Brook Lopez doesn't care about getting to those loose balls as much as he cares about taking away the opposing big. And I'd rather have that, to be honest with you.
All right, so you're saying if I went through that footage, I would find a lot of the... Okay, all right, fair enough. But I feel like he gets more rebounds now. Am I crazy?
Maybe. I don't know. It might be. I think he's only at like 7 or so a game.
Yeah,
and actually, I was going to say, last year it's probably down because of how many threes he's shooting.
Yeah.
So he's not actually in rebounding position in Milwaukee. So you have to, again, it's all about
peaked in 2016. Or actually, he peaked in 2010 when he averaged 8.5. But I mean, that's. But
don't forget, by the way, he's also positively impacting offensive rebounding percentage by drawing the bigs out and shooting threes now. So, like, everything he does is built around rebounding, including shooting 6 threes.
Right. So either way, Boogie would be could do the equivalent of that, and he actually is a better passer than Lopez already anyway.
He's a fantastic passer.
So yeah, I suppose that's what he should be doing as it is now. How this is interesting then. What was Boogie doing when he was healthy? That's not like Brook Lopez was the last couple of years.
I put in the ball in the floor.
Okay.
You know, the threat of the 3 from Boogie was definitely like overrated. But he would at least shoot them, and he was able to attack closeouts. I mean, his ability to put the ball on the floor, that was my bigger concern about him coming back from the Achilles. Would he lose that quick first step that he had? I mean, he's not quick laterally, but in a straight line, he was pretty good at pump faking and going past guys. And now coming back from an ACL, I mean, that's probably gone.
Right,
for sure. Not only was he quick enough as a straight line driver, he had really good ball handle control, good footwork. He could get around guys.
He was quick enough to do it. Right.
Yeah, he was a 5 that can drive and kick, which is what's always made the Warriors' offense so incredible, because they can just churn the ball through everything. And so now he's probably going to have to revert to being a back to the basket guy. His face-up game is like what makes him special. So that's probably gone for a little while. Hopefully he can get it back at some point. But I like the idea of him just being a pick and pop guy when he gets healthy again in a year or whatever it is. Hopefully.
Okay. Happens. Yeah. Now that brings us to the next part of this conversation, which is It felt like Dwight Howard was out. He was not going to play anymore in the NBA. Basically his career was over. And I had heard that. I had actually heard a few days before that Washington got rid of him, that they were going to make up some excuse and he was going to be, cut basically, and that was going to be all you'd ever see from him. It seemed reasonable at the time that was going to happen. I suppose all of a sudden you throw the Boogie injury into the mix. Now you got the Lakers who are desperate and they always like names. So Dwight Howard, Lakers, I guess this is going to happen, right?
No, it's not a thing. It's not.
You don't think it's going to happen?
It's not a thing. Listen, this is an agent doing his job. Right? I mean, if you're Dwight Howard's agent, do you want him, getting bought out, maybe not signing with anyone? Or do you want people to think that there's a market for teams that are actually going to compete, like the Lakers? Right?
This is why we have Dave on the show.
That's right. It's propaganda.
Okay.
It's fine, right? The Russians are probably involved in this too, but mostly it's the state. And if you go and look at what Ramona Shelburne reported, we know where that comes from. And she essentially went out with the fire extinguisher and sprayed down all those fires. So I don't expect him to wind up on the Lakers. The truth is, though, if he is bought out by Memphis and they could sign him to a minimum deal, hell, there are worse guys you can sign. If he's healthy, 2 years ago when he was healthy, he still looked pretty good. Now, he had the glute injury that kept him out all of last season. Hopefully there's no lingering effects from that. But if he's in shape, then, I don't see what it hurts. I mean, on a minimum deal, if he sucks in the locker room, he's out. And LeBron's not going to tolerate it. Like, we already know this. We've seen this with other guys.
Oh, yeah.
Great in the locker room. So, I think that of all the contenders, the Lakers might actually be uniquely qualified just with having LeBron and his strong presence in the locker room, where you could absorb that sort of personality. And maybe all you need from him is 20 minutes. And if he can give you 20 minutes of high-impact rebounding and some rim protection, that's not bad. It's not bad on a minimum deal.
Wow. Well, so
there's a lot of hate for Dwight. Listen, there's a lot of hate for Dwight, but man, like that guy, I still think he could be a useful player.
Well, I welcome Dave back on the show so he could hear him talk himself into a position that he'd already just argued against, saying it's not going to happen. But now we're saying that you're right, the way you described it.
It makes sense, but I don't see it happening.
Now, because they already went through the Michael Beasley thing, and he got cut within, or whatever, they traded him. And that was not even a really mistake of a deal as it is. Because don't you think they could have used Zubats right now?
Sure. I mean, but
they were never going to be able to keep him anyway because of his restricted status.
Yeah.
You mean over the offseason?
Right.
Now?
Yeah. That's why they made the trade. They just made a very stupid trade. But isn't Ekpe Udoh available?
No. I mean, he signed in China.
That's right. And then what about Zeller? Did Tyler Zeller sign yet? I can't remember.
I don't know. But I don't know if Zeller... Wait, is he not still in Charlotte? Now you have me Googling stuff live.
That's Cody. That's Cody Zeller.
Cody Zeller.
There's four of them.
But there's like a couple. There's like a couple other center options out there besides Dwight. I think Dwight is the best out of all those options.
Right.
I mean, Zeller's like very simple in what he can give you. I think Dwight gives you probably a little bit more of what Big Boogie was going to give them, but he's just not reliable enough at this point to be a starting center. Right. But yeah, I guess if it's a minimum deal, he's by far the highest reward guy out there. But Allen Williams isn't going to develop into a player.
But here's the other thing: is they just went through a season where they had all these guys like Beasley and Rondo and JaVale's in that team. They didn't give Beasley a half an inch, and then got rid of him. So it's like I have a hard time believing they're going to put Dwight and JaVale back on this team together and relying on them heavily and do that situation all over again. So that's what I would say if I was a coach. I'd be like, I don't think I'd want to do that. Because what the real answer would be, you just have LeBron play the 5 and have him play those minutes, but he just simply won't do it. But by the way, or Anthony Davis play the 5, because
they've got some positional things going on. I mean, LeBron's a 4 who wants to play the 3, but doesn't actually want to guard people at the 3.
Wait, here's what's funny. His defensive effort, it would mean like he wants to play the 5, right? Like he would hang around the basket, stand around, and maybe not have to close out.
But he doesn't necessarily want to protect the rim, and you don't want him carrying like Rudy Gobert or anyone like that.
Right.
Even though he could, okay? they're worried about Anthony Davis, taking a pounding as a 5. Again, nobody posts up, so it's an idiotic argument. But Anthony Davis doesn't want to play the 5. The same way Kevin Garnett didn't want to be a 7-footer, right? He was 6'13". Instead of 7'1". It's all just silly. And in 2019, we all know better. We all know the truth, and we can just LeBron is a point guard now. Okay, LeBron's been a point guard his whole life. It's who he is. I mean, it's all about who you guard anyway, and that's all I care to talk about. And the truth is, at this point in his career, LeBron should be guarding 4s or 5s, and Anthony Davis should be guarding 5s. That's it. But now they figure out. So who's Kuzma going to guard when he's out there with closing lineups? He's going to be guarding wings. So he's going to be susceptible to switching. I talked to Pete Zayas, Laker Film Room. We actually had a conversation about this because my biggest issue with Kuzma is going to be his role this year. I think Kuzma is going to be – eventually he's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a starting caliber player. He's not going to start for this team because he can't. There's no space for him. There's nowhere for him to start.
If
AD would play the 5, they could play Kuzma at the 3, and they could survive because he actually does a pretty good job chasing guys around screens. He actually a lot of effort guarding, which is half the battle. I mean, what you don't get out of LeBron guarding guys on the wing. And so they've got a lot of tricky things happening positionally. Bring in Dwight; it solves some of those problems. I mean, listen, I have literally talked myself into this in the last 10 minutes, but I think Dwight makes sense. I just don't think it's going to happen.
All right, well, now, wait. Let's go over the starting lineup then, because I suppose what you're going to say is JaVale's going to start at center. You're going to have AD at 4, LeBron at 3, Rondo at point guard, and then is that what you're saying?
Well, Danny Green will be at the 2.
Yeah, so that's why there's the Kuzma not in the starting lineup. But if they put AD at the 5, then Kuzma starts.
Yeah, probably.
AD, LeBron, Kuzma, Green, and Rondo.
Or you can start Avery Bradley or whatever.
Yeah, but Green, they're the best player on that team. Danny Green is the star.
Yeah, and that's why they're not going to finish that high in the Western Conference, right? Or they're going to finish in the middle?
They can't withstand an injury to either LeBron or Anthony Davis for any amount of time.
Right. Well, but who can? Can the Clippers? Could the Clippers sustain that?
So the Clippers, I mean, their 8th best player is JaMychal Green. And JaMychal Green would probably start for the Lakers.
Interesting.
Right?
I would say the Clippers' 8th best player would probably be the 3rd best player on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Okay. So I suppose you're right. They can handle that a lot. Certainly they can handle a lot better than the Lakers could. But Paul George goes down or Kawhi Leonard goes down, they're not.
They're still going to make the playoffs.
Okay. So that's what we're going to cut this off at?
Yeah. If LeBron goes down, I don't think the Lakers make the playoffs.
No, definitely not. So, I mean, unless Danny Green becomes a great pick and roll playmaker all of a sudden. But by the way, just quickly, other center options: Isaac Humphries, who had a very brief cup of coffee with Atlanta; Eric Moreland, who's kind of bounced around but has shown he can stay on the court; Kosta Koufos, if he's healthy, which I don't think he is. It's been a while since I heard an update. He's still, I think he's only 30 or 31. And then Salah Mejri is 30, 32, 33, I think, and he still can play a little bit. So if they're looking for another legit 7-footer, those are all pretty decent options, or some of those guys are 6'10", 6'11". But they have JaVale, so they can go with an undersized center if they want to.
Didn't Koufos sign with Cheska?
Shit, you might be right, actually.
I love working this stuff out live, but I'm pretty sure he signed with Cheska.
Right.
It's a live show. That's how we do it.
I didn't break the news.
So, by the way, a great comment over on Periscope by Joey Devine. The Popeyes chicken sandwich is the Lakers' 7th best player.
Yes.
I think that wins.
Shout out to Round Ball Rock.
Yes, we'll have to get that as a screenshot somewhere, but
actually,
that's true.
If AD moves to the 5, they could actually slide the chicken sandwich in at the 4. I think that would actually work.
Yeah, and then they get more people going into games.
Here's what I'd say: put the chicken sandwich have them guard in 1s because the effort's going to be there.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, you shredded lettuce all over the place.
That's right. It's
well, over. Yeah, but you're already, having to defend the point guards in the NBA, you're already chicken sandwich every night anyway.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, so that's
who wants to do it.
All right. How else can we extend this metaphor? Wow, I'm surprised we actually, we still didn't even touch upon Dwight after all that. Sort of. I guess we did a little bit, but did we solve the Lakers' problems then? I mean, what's going to happen here?
No, I do think that they will wind up signing a a big, but I don't think it's going to be Dwight.
Okay. And, we've already gone over who's left. I feel like there was somebody else that they had. No, I can't even think anymore. Okay. What else we could talk about then?
Did we circle jerk on Derek White enough last time? Probably.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about the Serbian national team with me. I'm lonely. Nene. Oh, Nene is available. That would be fun.
Oh,
yeah. Make sense for what they're looking for.
He's like a good teammate.
Stand up straight.
Yeah. Well, wait. Nene didn't miss a ton of games last year, did he? I bet he played 60. Let's see.
I don't know. Nene is 40.
He's 36. No, never mind. He played 42 games. Right? He played 42 games last year. He's 36. Maybe he's 37 now.
How is he only 37? He's been in the NBA since before I was born.
Yeah, I know. Well,
he turns 37.
He's going to be in September. Yeah, September 13th.
What I love is when you Google Nene, all the top stories are about Nene Leakes and how she lost 12 pounds thanks to these diet tweaks.
All right,
I'm not doing anything, in quotes.
Look, here's the thing.
Kenneth Farid's too small. Sorry.
If you sign Nene, you're just saying we don't care about center defense. That's it. So,
they don't really need it, though.
They don't? Why don't they need it?
It would be useful, but they already have JaVale, they already have LeBron, they already have AD. I don't think the depth of center defense is important. I think offense is probably more important, is having probably a post-up option at the 5, because right now they only have 2 good post-up players on their roster.
And you're in LeBron's way.
Yeah.
But
LeBron's one of those guys, so it's like you have an option.
But this is where Boogie would have actually been interesting for them because of the inside-out possibilities. And I think that they need to find a facsimile of that to be more effective. I mean, Brook Lopez would have been amazing, right, on this team.
Yeah.
Well, if only they kept him a couple of years ago. What we described on the show as the worst move in the entire NBA last year.
All right, well, we need to figure out why Brook Lopez keeps getting paid so little. How is it possible that this guy's – what did he get paid in the summer, 13?
Yeah, he got less than Dwayne Dedmon.
Like, okay, this is how I put it. Now, I like Chris Middleton, but Middleton makes 37, and Lopez gets 13, whatever that is. It's like it's almost like our country in a microcosm here.
Middleton's is positional scarcity, and a function of the cap, and also when he became a free agent, and
career perception.
Well, also the Bucks couldn't afford to lose him because they couldn't replace him.
I know, but for as much as he is a positional anomaly, Brook Lopez has to be even more so at that position. I would think. I don't know who else can do it.
More bigs. I mean, Dwayne Dedmon.
Right? But Dwayne Dedmon doesn't shoot threes. He doesn't spread the floor like that.
He does.
Oh, he does. He did last year a little bit, but not. He's not doing step backs now. Okay, I forgot that.
Good. Well, Dave? How much better is Brook Lopez than Dwayne Dedmon at this point?
It's not big. Dwayne Dedmon just wasn't on the Bucks.
Yeah,
right?
It feels like Dwayne Dedmon is like a perfect representation of the low differentiation and replacement value among bigs. Really, Brook Lopez is your ideal stretch 5 right now. Then Dwayne Dedmon is like your good replacement for variation.
Yeah, they're the running back of the NBA. I do not understand any team that doesn't draft a generational superstar big. Right, so if you're drafting a big, and this isn't a guy that you like, DeAndre Ayton might be a generational type talent. You draft him high, but anyone who's not on that level, what's the point? Because you can sign Thomas Bryant,
right,
as an undrafted free agent, or pick him in the second round, and so it makes no sense. But to Jared's point, this is why Brook Lopez didn't make that much money, despite the fact that he has high impact, because he's more easily replaced than a guy, on the wing in Middleton, who plays, good defense, not great, good defense, and can score.
And also Lopez is 31 and a half, so he got 4 years. I think he was trading in some AAV to get the extra year or two for sure.
100%.
I think from what I had heard someone mention something, but I don't remember if it was really substantiated, that his market generally was going to be somewhere around 2 years, 30 million, maybe a little bit more.
That was my expectation. Actually, Dwayne Dedmon got more than I thought he would get. I thought he would be around 11.
I was surprised. Yeah.
What did he get?
He wound up at 13 and a half.
It's like a little bit more than Lopez, I think, per year. I thought Dedmon people would look at it as kind of some empty stats on a developing team. I wouldn't call them a bad team in Atlanta, but also, I mean, shooting 39.5% or whatever from three, and you're 7 feet tall, and you're a decent defender, and you're still in your 20s, you're kind of a lock to be making at least $12 million at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's all figured out, Nick.
Okay. Well, then that means that Dwayne Dedmon's so damn good, and he goes to the Kings. What's going to happen here at the bottom of the Western Conference? Because, and I was on my live show on Instagram, which, by the way, I blame you guys for not telling me how much fun Instagram is. It's like Twitter, but with nice people. You know? You don't feel that way?
Well, I think everybody on Instagram is trying to sell themselves. So they're a lot more kind of fake nice. While on Twitter, there's no image to sell, so you're just hiding behind your cynicism.
Well, either way, so we went through it though, and I was like, okay, you have to understand, if you're going to think that the Mavericks are making the playoffs this year, that means someone has to drop down. And the one thing we came up with was OKC.
Who's making? Wait. Who thinks the Mavericks are making the playoffs?
Well, listen, if they have a healthy KP and they have Doncic,
are making the playoffs. Lock it in, write it down.
Who are?
Put it on a billboard. The San Antonio Spurs are going to make the playoffs.
And that always happens that way. So that OKC is the one who's going to drop, right? That's the one. Okay, sure. But now we're talking about the Kings, the Mavericks.
I expect them to trade Chris Paul. If they keep Chris Paul, maybe.
Maybe. Well, okay. So now we're stuck.
They would be like a 4 seed in the East, but they're probably like a 10 seed in the West at best. But you're right though, Nick, at what you're saying. I mean, the Kings are kind of bubbling up towards the playoff line. The Mavericks, I mean, with KP healthy, and especially with not just KP healthy, but like the summer to build around him and Luka and really get that game plan there. I mean, they should be better, but I don't think they're going to be able to make that leap just because of how insanely high the bar is there.
Well, yeah, but also let's not forget the Lakers didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yep.
So they're in. It doesn't even matter. So we're already have a logjam there where someone else is going to have to drop down if that's going to happen, and it's not fair. I like the Kings. We need to do something about the Kings and get people liking them more or something. They have a really fun team, and I think they deserve. Is there any way that we could influence the outcomes of these games?
Like in a Tanya Harding type situation? Is that?
I don't know. Or maybe if we all believe, it's kind of like, in Woodstock, we just had the 50th anniversary of Woodstock. If we all think no rain, it won't rain.
How did that work for Woodstock?
Well, it got a little muddy and stuff, so I suppose. But they all had fun while they were doing it. That's the most important thing, right?
Drugs, Nick.
Yes.
Drugs.
It is. Don't do drugs. We now know, as I'm trying to explain to people, the younger people, the real effects that these drugs have on your brain. It's not just like Nancy Reagan saying, here's your brain on drugs and it's a fried egg. No, we now know. So don't do them. Nonetheless.
Okay, yes. This is a drug-free podcast.
Right.
Do drugs.
No. You could do drugs when you're like 21 or 22.
Yeah. Don't, as a kid, definitely don't.
The developing brain, that's what I'm talking about. When you're 14, 15, whatever that is, that's the bad time to do it. Right, Jared?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of developing brain, what about the Pelicans as a team that can leap up into the playoffs? I mean, they had like two, like fifth best player on a good playoff team guys in JJ Redick and Derek Favors. They've overhauled their roster with more guys that probably aren't good defenders, and then Lonzo, I think, will be a great defender.
They still have Drew.
They have a little bit of everything at a caliber that seems like a playoff team.
How's that free throw shooting though?
You don't have to
be bad.
All
right. I think that you need to hit free throws, but the bigger thing is youth, man, and young players are just bad. And I don't think this year I don't think we should expect much. Next year, though, that defense is going to be real.
Sure.
Real.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Ingram, Ball, Drew Holiday. He's there to stay. Zion.
Is he still going to be fat?
Yeah, right. Did we fat shame him enough? I mean, or did Coach K do that? Whatever it was. I mean, do we all believe that was what was going on? What Coach K was trying to cover for him and say he was out of shape and whatever? Is that really what was going on?
I don't
know, but he's been he's never been in perfect shape. Like
he's a kid, right? Like
he's always looked oversized. He's had like baby fat.
We see it more often, probably the other way, where guys come in too light, and we see them try to put on weight. We just need to see him get in shape. Like again, he's a kid. He's not even 19 years old. I want to see with his like at 21.
With his muscle size, he probably eats like 6,000 calories a day, like he's Taco Fall. So like for him, it's probably just a matter of nutrition, maybe having to do more cardio or changing the way he does his workouts. But like I'm sure he can shed that baby fat and become an absolute monster.
Yeah, he's gonna be working with pros. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Well, they brought in Phoenix's medical guy to lead their medical team there. I mean, Griff has everything in place for Zion to thrive.
Yeah. So they should be competing for a playoff spot. I would be surprised if they're not there toward the end of the year, unless injuries.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'd say the same thing, but I still lean toward youth is bad in the NBA. They're just not good. I don't know. God,
but what's the youth? Okay, the only youth you're talking about is Zion, right? I mean, you can't call Lonzo young.
Lonzo's still young. This would be year 3 for Lonzo. Brandon Ingram's still young.
Year 4 for Ingram. Holiday is in his prime. Redick is
healthy his whole career. I do think that they got a lot of question marks. Meanwhile, we know what the Spurs are. We know what the Spurs do. We know what Greg Popovich does. Like, look, I've played this game where I just say, you know what, the Spurs are not making the playoffs, and every time I've done it, what happens?
They make the playoffs.
Make me look stupid.
Right.
And it's all because of you.
If I look stupid because they didn't make the playoffs, it's a better spot for me to be in. But I just think that they're going to make the playoffs. They got a lot of grown men playing basketball, and I think that matters in the NBA.
But with Murray coming back, this is, Pop's going to have to, he's not going to get a pass anymore. They're going to have to show that they can actually just not be happy to be there and whatever, because you got 2 guys who are all-star level. You got a couple other guys who are really, really good. That's a good team. You shouldn't be surprising anybody. Oh, they're playing the Spurs way. They're going to have to win games and be a threat and actually do something in the playoffs, I think, with that team.
About Derek White and Bryn Forbes for the 2 All-Stars?
No, I'm talking about the other 2 All-Stars.
I see 2 All-Stars in Derek White and Bryn Forbes, and then DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge are okay.
Bryn Forbes is an All-Star?
I'm kidding.
Okay, all right.
Although he's good. He's good. He's a good rotation.
He's like the Patty Mills, of the Spurs, whatever they are, whatever he is.
Are they
still have Patty Mills?
Like, what? Yeah, they have like 4 really solid guards at this point.
Yeah, by the way, Patty Mills could probably help a really good team right now. If who needs shooting right now? I can't think.
The Lakers could use them.
Well, all right. Here's the question: Is Avery Bradley a shooter? We're not going to get the Jared's Celtics blood bleeding in here. Is Avery Bradley a legit 3-point shooter?
No.
Nah, not anymore. No.
He was the worst player in the league last year, aside from 14 games in Memphis on an awful team where he got to run pick and roll. He's not going to run pick and roll in LA. I mean,
right.
Ever since he got hurt in Detroit after the Celtics traded him, he hasn't been the same. Doc tried really hard to get him back, and he was playing like 33 minutes a night with the Clippers, and everyone around the team was saying like they got to put him on the bench, and then they got Shamet, which forced him. I mean, they got rid of him when that happened, and the team got like dramatically better once they did that. So yeah, Avery's a very streaky shooter. I mean, I chronicled his shooting development over the years. I can tell you, he never was a natural touch shooter, became a good mechanical shooter, really good footwork eventually, and he has like very specific shots coming over curls from like right to left, and he's able to catch and shoot. That's where he's good. That comes and goes. The other stuff, he's just not a good rhythm off the ball shooter. They got to put him in very specific spots to make him useful.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. So the Lakers could use, I guess, Patty Mills, but I'm not even sure what his contract status is now. They can't. I think the Lakers are done. Yeah, the Warriors are done too. I don't think they can do anything either. But they're making the playoffs. I mean, if Clay's going to come back anyway, so they make it. But I think they can make the playoffs with just what they have with D'Angelo and Curry.
The Warriors are winning the championship. This is spoiler alert for my upcoming season previews over at The Athletic. But yeah, the Warriors are winning the title. Like, come on.
Whoa. All right.
They got the best player in the league.
On here and throws all the. Oh yeah, they do have Draymond. I mean, it's amazing the hot takes he throws out here.
I don't think that's a hot take. They got Steph Curry, they got Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson will be back for the playoffs. It's a wrap. Everybody just shut it down.
Wow, you're like this is like Leo. This is like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right here, the finale scene.
With that one.
Oh, we're not going to ruin it for everybody, but we've seen them play in
definitely a title contender. There's no question the Warriors are a title contender because it's so wide open right now, and they're still very good. And I'm very optimistic about D'Angelo's fit and about how he fits with Clay moving to the 3 when Clay eventually comes back. Hopefully. Right. Well enough before the playoffs that he can be in a rhythm and be a good defender by the time
right. Or they move him in for somebody else. But
I don't think Clay's gonna. I think his defense is obviously when he comes back is not going to be great. It seems like it takes about a year for those guys to come back from the ACL laterally. So I don't expect much defensively out of him. But shooters are going to shoot. Like he's going to be able to shoot coming back. Although there is some science to suggest that guys actually suffer more coming back up an ACL than an Achilles. So, we'll see about that. But it's Klay Thompson. He's second greatest shooter in the history of the league. I think he's going to be okay.
All right. Well, listen, I want to make sure we give a shout out to Gigolo Puff, who's out there cleaning up this chat on YouTube. Thank you so much for being out there and doing that and making everybody behave. And awesome discussion, considering we started out with not a lot to talk about when we began this thing, as always.
Yeah. We had no idea what we were going to talk about. That's why Dave's here.
That's it. That's the only reason. So,
yeah. All right. Well, we're working on getting Popeyes to sponsor this thing. So maybe our next show will be at Popeyes. Are there Popeyes in your respective cities?
Yeah, I've got one that's like 10 minutes.
All right. I'm sure I can find one somewhere in LA, but I don't often see them. Anyone know in LA if there is one? There's got to be one.
For sure. I saw Anthony Irwin tweeting about it.
Okay. Well, he'll have to help me find it. So, well, listen, awesome stuff, everybody. Everyone, your summer's been good so far?
Yeah, I'm about to head to New York tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
I'm excited. Going to go see Tame Impala with my boy Kevin O'Connor. I think you guys know who that is. Mm-hmm. And a few other friends. So I'm excited for that.
I've seen him on your Instagram.
Yeah, the only place you can find them.
I'll be hanging out in Chicago this weekend. So if anybody is
nice
out there, hit me up.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, I'm missing you. I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks. Oh, and then by the way, I'm going to Madison, Wisconsin for my reunion, my college reunion. And if anyone's out there, let me know. Let me know. Hit me up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody out there, thanks for being part of the show and on YouTube, on Periscope, everywhere else. And you'll listen to this tomorrow on the podcast. And don't forget, sports fans, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel. We're a conversation. You in? Are you in, Dave?
Yes, I am.
Are you in, Jared?
I'm in a Popeyes right now.